Carla, your childhood in South Africa has deeply influenced your artistic style. Can you tell us about the story behind this and the process you now apply to your artwork?
So the Eastern Cape Coast, growing up on the Eastern Cape Coast, has massively influenced my artwork, certainly in the earlier works.
Mm-hmm.
I think growing up on the beach every day and, being part of that scenery sort of instills in you a deep appreciation for natural beauty early on. And for me, it was always about, every day was different, the changing horizons, the interplay between light and water, changing patterns of sand. Just generally speaking, I think nature in itself is just an endless source of inspiration. And I think also what influenced me a lot was the interaction as a child with the ocean. Being sort of left to your own devices was something that's so vast. I think really sort of fosters a sense of freedom and openness within your own character. And I think between that upbringing and my art, I think it's that feeling that goes into the work, and I think it's that feeling that has been developed within myself through the work and the background, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. You can definitely see it throughout all your pieces. It's a similar characteristic.
That idea of freedom and, coming as you are, and that openness, I think that just comes from the beach, for sure.
Yeah, so the movement and the energy. So going to the car itself, the My Mode actually has an art mode, digital art mode, which has a piece of art on it. So my question to you is, if you were to translate one of your pieces over into the digital art space in this car, what would you pick and why?
I think for me, I love this idea of this, immersive experience, and I love the screen that's landscape. So for me, it would definitely be a landscape piece. And I think for something like this, a climatic storm would be incredible. Like just, having this sort of, I think a storm, generally speaking, is like a multi-sensory experience. The sound, the feeling of it, all these different elements and moving and the power behind it. I think having something like that in a car like this would be like a total multi-sensory immersive experience for the driver. I think, how it'd be lit up and the sound you could put over it. So for me, it would probably be like a black and gold climatic storm. Yeah. I think it would look amazing.
Cool. And as you're probably aware, there is a strong synergy between BMW and the arts. It's an ongoing commitment to cultural innovatives around the world, whether that be installations, collaborations and artists. If you were to envision a collaborative piece between yourself and BMW, what would you produce?
So if I could produce anything as a collaboration between me and BMW, and there was no limits on it, which is crazy. Wait for it. So I really love the ocean, and I think knowing that obviously BMW also play a big role in sponsoring sports, for me, I would love to develop or design a sail or spinnaker for the racing yachts in the America's Cup.
That'd be super cool.
That would just be
that'd be epic. I don't think they've done that before.
Like the whole sail.
Yeah.
For the America's Cup. You know how big they are?
Well, I've not seen one up close.
That's like a huge, and then it's sort of, because it's the ocean element, and I just think that would just be the craziest thing ever.
And are there any female figures in your life or the industry who've inspired your career?
So female figures in my life, I think I value and appreciate all mothers. I think they're just absolute rock stars. I think they are, total life of service, and it's obviously enjoyable as well, but I just think that's amazing. And then I also really love, it's not in my industry, but there's a woman called Sarah Blakely. She's the CEO of Spanx.
Okay.
I always listen to her stuff, and I always follow her on Instagram and stuff, and she's just the total testament of what can be done, what one woman can do, just incredible. And then I think in the art world, I've always admired Georgia O'Keeffe. I love her depictions of flowers, but also she used to paint like really vast desert scapes, which I can really relate to. And she also had this amazing independent spirit that I really love about her. So I think those would be mine.
And as an established artist, if you were to give a piece of advice to someone who is up and coming or wanting to get into the industry, what would you say to them?
like literally wear blinkers and just wear blinkers and just keep going.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes, you know, some people will say the right thing and it's amazing and it, you know, propels you forward, and then a lot of times, you know, you won't like what you hear, so you can't pay attention to any of that, and you also can't look at what anyone else is doing, because then what happens is you compare yourself, and when you start doing that, I find it incredibly like such a waste of time. You've got to just put the blinkers on and keep
Tunnel vision.
total focus. Yeah, focus.
And where do you see the future of Art by Raads?
So for me, the work has always been my priority first and foremost. I want to continue to see that like change and develop. I love experimenting with different process. I'm trying to bring in new materials. Currently, I'm trying to push the work into a more sort of contemporary style, you know, still following the same inspiration through nature, but just in a more contemporary vibe. I'd like to, at the moment it seems quite alien to me, not so much because I did do NFTs, but I'd like to see how AI and sort of digital tools could help push the boundaries of my work. So for me, the work's always the priority. I want to see it. I want to see where it can go and how far I can take it. And then I think I would love to continue to collaborate with like awesome brands. It's just the best thing, because it just pushes your work or any work, artwork in general, into like new platforms and new spaces. And it's sort of like breaking that traditional mold that I think is just really exciting. So I would love to continue doing that, and I want to do it forever.
That's
So,
wonderful.
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me in the
Carla.
warmth, out of my seat, out of the cold, in
Wait
the
till
car.
you see this. You ready? Wait, let me show
What
you
is
this.
it?
Wait, go on.
Oh my god, what's going on? Oh no.
How
Oh
cool.
my god. Why didn't you show me this before the thing?
I tried to save it for a surprise.
Oh my god.
You can like it actually glints to the back of here.
Oh my god, you put
Yeah, Netflix, everything.
forget Netflix.
Oh, sorry. You're talking about
Forget Netflix. Put Carla Raads on the screen.